Let me tell you about a time that I actually was scammed. And looking back, maybe there were some red flags that I missed, but it did seem very real at the time. I was called by a police officer, which I know is a red flag. But I've been called by police officers before, where maybe there was an accident or a breakdown, and the driver is so caught up in what they're doing that they haven't notified me immediately. So that wasn't a big deal to me. But, you know, looking back, maybe it was. So he said that he was called to a truck stop because of an altercation between two drivers. That one of them was trying to pull into a parking spot and the other one cut them off. They got out of their trucks and they were kind of, arguing or yelling at each other. And the manager of the truck stop called the police there to just get them both off of the property. So, again, not a crazy story. I've heard of things like that happening before. So he's telling me that he has to tow our truck. And he's telling me that the reason that he has to tow the truck is because in this exchange between these two drivers, that the police officer came over to our driver to try and help and calm things down, and that our driver pushed him. And the guy was so nice. He said, "Oh, I know that, he probably didn't mean to. And he seemed like a really nice guy, but because I have my body camera on, I have to arrest him for pushing me." And he had so many details. And again, scammers, they know how to get these details. So now that this has happened to me, I kind of know, that it wasn't that crazy. But he knew the driver's name. He knew our company name. And he also said that the reason why the driver got so upset with the other driver was that he was screaming some racial slurs at him. And our driver is Hispanic. So everything seemed to kind of match. And he said, the guy seemed like he was, a nice guy and that this isn't what he typically does, which is true. The guy is very nice. So he really put in some details into the story that made it seem very realistic. And he said, I do have to have the truck towed and we do have to bring him to the station. But he said, he'll just have to be there. I forget if he said overnight or just for a couple hours, and he'll just pay a fee and he'll leave.